we can all chant Vakratunda Mahakaya. I will just start. Om Shri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Shri Saraswatyai Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. We will speak in English because I think that is the common language. Okay, so I will not keep switching between Marathi, Gujarati. I don't know Gujarati anyway, Hindi. So what we are going to do now is first item that we have planned is self-introduction. But meanwhile, you can see we have some slideshow going on here, and that will be turning on again after some time. Okay. So for self-introduction, before self-introduction, I just want to call Ghanshyam Bhai here for a minute, Vijay Bhai and Anil Bhai, and if Kumud is free, Nirmala, please come. Come for a minute. I just want to tell you how it all started.
Vijay Bhai.
Okay, so just for a second, huh? Just not wait. No timer.
Second.
1 second. So this idea of get together, meeting all the friends started. I will tell you, the seed was sown by Ghanshyam Bhai. He went in search of Bhaves. Where not. I can't tell you. You have to hear that long story later, after 4:30. Okay? But he really went totally out of way, tried to find us where we are. Even he went to our house in San Jose, California. And he entered our house, knocked at our house because he saw the Toran on the door. And he said, okay, Bhave mil gaye, right? He knocks at the door. I think before that there was a lady in at the kitchen window, and she just saw him, she didn't open the door. All these things happened. So he insisted that open the door and all that. Then he came to know that we have gone to India. So anyway, so then he was worried like why we are in India and all that. So all that long story, I won't tell now, but it was very interesting. And then I started feeling, there are so many friends, they haven't met for so long. Now shouldn't we be getting together? Okay? And that's so the seed was sown by Ghanshyam Bhai and Nirmala. So thanks to them first of all. Then once the thoughts started rolling, then I talked, Ghanshyam Bhai only gave me Arkesh's phone number. Then I got Vijay Bhai from the temple, came to know the Grish Bhargava was here in the town. I didn't know about Anil Bhai. He said, how come nobody remembered my name? But he came a little bit later in the picture. But Vijay Bhai said, Charu, good idea, 24/7, I'm there for you. And I have to tell you one thing, that we were in India, Bhave and I live, our home base is India now. So sitting in India, I was trying to reach as many people as possible. Of course, Ramesh Bhai, I met. So I talked to all of you one by one, not I, we all did. But I called them because it was started with Ghanshyam Bhai and Nirmala, and then Vijay Bhai said 24/7 support is there. Not only support, just come, we will take care of it. Then Anil Bhai and Kumud jumped into it and they said, oh no, we will take care of it, we are going to host it and whatnot, So I said, we will see all that later, let us meet. So that is how we are here. So that is the short introduction of how this idea came together. And so it is not, as we have said on our message, it is our gathering. We are all coming together and trying to refresh our memories and trying to go back to the time period of 1974 through 1978. Okay, so that is how it started. And just last week, Pawan Gupta, unka patta mil gaya, wo bhi phone pe, thanks to internet. So I found his number. Neeta, our younger daughter-in-law, she called him, got in touch with him, and see, he's here already. So this is how we all feel about our friend circle. And that's what I first wanted to tell you. So thank you everybody. This is our gathering. We will have fun. Okay? Thanks. Okay.
So I am Ghanshyam Singh, also known as G. Vasadya. Actually, that's the way Vasadya, but now it is Vasadya. And this is my wife Nirmala, also goes by Meena Vasadya. I arrived in Kalamazoo the first week of January 1975. On a wintry cold noon, Ambu Patel picked me up from the Greyhound bus stop in downtown and gave me a shelter for a few days at his home. And then he put me in contact with Kalamazoo Western students, campus for the students, So although I knew Bharat Shah because he was my classmate in India, but I didn't have his phone number. And after Abu Bhai gave me all the things, and Rajat Bhai was ahead of us, I specially came to W. Western for higher education in automotive engineering because there are only two places I found that this program is going on, and I had an automotive background from India. I wanted to specialize in automotive engineering. We stayed in Kalamazoo for 2.5 years. I graduated April 25th, 1977 with a Bachelor's of Science degree in automotive engineering. I had few interviews on campus and then focused on finding employment with Detroit, Michigan automotive industry. I started my first professional engineering job with, guess what? Four lucky numbers. 4,
4.
and 3 7. So I started my first job on 7/7/77
Nice figures.
with the company manufacturing automotive fuel system products. From my first job to last job, I worked for automotive suppliers, General Motors, Ford, and retired December 2018. I worked on automotive fuel system my entire life. From day one to the end, I was in the fuel system.
Half a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. Currently we live in January through April in Florida in the retirement community, the villages, and from May through December we are in Sterling Heights, Michigan. It's a suburb of Detroit metro area. We have 3 children. Anupama, oldest daughter, settled in Detroit with the family. Preeti settled, second daughter Preeti settled in San Francisco. And Mayursi, my son, settled in Detroit also. During my 2.5 years, now you will tell me, I have to say one more thing. Bharat, I made
have my minute.
students.
You can take my minute.
I met the students. Okay. Bharat Shah, Rajat and Varsa Patel, Mangraju Muthiala, Dr. Vijay Arora, Vittal and Charu Bhave, Rajesh and Dina Shah, Arkes Pandit, Kiran Mehta, Chayapati Veda and Mirle, Vikram Patel, Oman Gupta, Vinod Dudekar, Ramna and Padma Misala, Rani, I don't remember her first last name, Javed, I don't remember his last name, Anwar, he was from Hyderabad, Salim Qureshi, Paul Singh, Akhil Gupta, you probably don't know anybody but I know him, Akhil Gupta, Vijay and Virendra Sood and Praful Patel. I also had the privileges to meet very good families, Ambu and Jasumati Patel, Vijay and Naina Mehta, Ramesh and Mati Patel, Dr. Kalani family, Anil and Kumud Patel, Bharat and Meera Kamdar, Rajendra and Jolly Patel. The faculty members, if I remember right, was at that time Indian faculty members, Professor Arora, Professor Kriplani, Professor Kapoor, Professor Sharma, Professor Sood, and Professor Ra. I hope I didn't miss anybody.
Sure. No, you got that.
Yes.
So that is
My name is Nirmala Ghansyansi Vasadia. I came in 1975 and I came in Kalamazoo. I stay 1 week and then I went Phoenix to do the delivery for my Hoopy, his foal. And then I came back in December and we stay in Kalamazoo 2.5 years. And then since then we moved to the Detroit area. Since then we have been in Detroit area. We did not go anywhere. Thank you.
Okay. When did you arrive in Kalamazoo? February 1972. How long did you stay in Kalamazoo? From 1972 to now, 52 years. Where did you move from? From Kalamazoo? I didn't move. Right here. Where do you live now? 30% of time in this temple, 70% time at the home. Are you settled in Kalamazoo? Yes, I'm settled in Kalamazoo. Introduce the family, my wife Naina, my daughter Amisha, and my son-in-law Dylan. Our children's, or we don't want to talk. Okay, all that's 6. And if you don't want to my friend's name, it's very easy. I can give you directory. Might look it up in directory, Indian Associate Directory. They will have all the names, so it's no point to repeat. Okay, I think that's all it is. Okay, thank you.
I'm Anil Patel. This is my better half, Kumud. I came to Kalamazoo alone in 1970 after graduating from Michigan. I joined Carl Walker and Associates, a structural engineering company. After 14 years with Carl Walker, I switched to Upjohn Company, thanks to a push and encouragement by Ramesh Bhai. That story is a long one, so I won't say that. I stayed with Upjohn for about 22 years and retired in 2006. Never moved, have been in Kalamazoo since 1970. Married Kumud in 1974. Shivani, our daughter, is in Atlanta. So our son, Nidip, and wife Jessica, and young Kabir, 2 years old, sorry. My parents moved from India and they stayed with us from 85 to 2008. And that's our story. Scared of me when she came to town. I wonder why. There you go, right? Took me back home.
I said I did not know that she was scared of you. But like Ghanshyam said, all the names are so familiar and I can picture them. In fact, we met Rajat Bhai recently and I'm still wondering whether Bharat Shah is, because they stayed with us for a while. So I have lots of memories of them and lots of memories from the campus, because that's my first year when all of you just came. That was my first year too, and that's why those memories will never fade away.
I am Vijay Sood and this is my better half Virendra Sood. We came here in 1969, 19th of June 1969. Came in Detroit, came to Kalamazoo State, and we never moved anywhere, stayed right here. We both went to Western. He was in chemistry department, I was in education. And he worked for so-called Upjohn, Pharmacia and Pfizer, from where he was kicked out eventually. And I worked as a school teacher. So that's the story of our life, and we never moved anywhere. We came from India, stayed here, and planning to stay here till then. And we have 2 daughters and 5 grandchildren. So we are enjoying them. Both of them are in Michigan.
Wow.
Thank you. In our apartment, that's Kokla and Yatim Bora.
Oh, yeah,
They were with
I came to Kalamazoo. I came to Kalamazoo in December 1968. And since then, I have lived in Kalamazoo all the time. Same house all the time. I started with Upjohn 72, and I worked with Upjohn till 2003. And I retired from there. I have 2 kids, Nehal and Anura. They both are in North Carolina. Charlotte. And we have 2 grandsons. They are all in Charlotte. That's about it.
My name is Ramesh and my wife is Mati Patel. So we came here from Kalamazoo, from Detroit in 1973 and started working at Upjohn and retired in 2005. And part of that we moved to Japan for 3 years from 86 to 89, one of the projects I did for Upjohn at that time. We have 2 children, Sachin and Seema, and they married in 2004. And they have 2, Seema has 2 granddaughters. Seema has 2 daughters, and their name is Meena and Veera. And Sachin has 2 sons, named Arjun and Shalin. They are between 14 and 10-year-old. Seema lives in Atlanta, Sachin lives in Minneapolis. I'm retiring and enjoy my retirement.
And you're not gonna move from Kalamazoo.
No, we are staying here.
Hello, welcome to all those who are not from Kalamazoo. And my name is Chandrakant Patel, and this is Trupti Patel. And we've been in Kalamazoo since 1977. And we have been all the time here. We moved from Detroit.
Yeah, and we met first Anil Bhai and Kumud Ben at Nottingham.
And we have 2 children. One is Sneha and other is Srinil. Sneha is in Kalamazoo and Srinil is in Grand Rapids. And she will tell you a little bit more.
क्या बोले?
बोल दो.
Kalamazoo is a nice town, and we love Kalamazoo so much. And this is our hometown. This is like a family for me because I don't have any family here. So these all friends are like a family. That's why you also came all the way from India to celebrate with us. So thank you.
It's a pre-lecture phone, so I'm not going to charge any tuition. Okay. My name is Damodar Golhar. Josna, my wife, one and only so far. Okay. I came to United States in '77 to University of Michigan to do my PhD in Industrial and Operations Engineering. And that's where I met Vittal and Charu. I was a president of India Student Association there, and at that time we wanted to show movies, Hindi movies, and I used to contact Vijay Bhai to send us the movies. Those were my extracurricular activities at that time. So I graduated in '83, and then we moved to Kalamazoo and have been there since then. So last 40 years, 41 years we are here. We're blessed to have wonderful families and friends. You know, you're now our family. You know, it's nice to know you all. I'm phasing into my retirement. Starting this year, I'm going half-time for the next 5 years. Yeah, and so it will be, I will have wonderful opportunity to lecture Josna at home. You know, so I'm sorry for fine. But you know, overall though, you know, I'm really looking forward to that next phase in life. You know, where you slow down. We want to live a very simple life. Oh, I forgot. Simple life is good, but I'm looking for a donor who can donate a Ferrari to Josna and Lamborghini to me. Other than that, we're really blessed to have a wonderful life. And we have 2 children. Abhijit, who lives in Atlanta, and Sachin, the younger one, lives in Detroit. And we just have a grandson whose name is Shiv. So thank you very much. It's been good family.
My sister Beena Kalani, one of the 5 sisters.
My goodness, I didn't remember.
This side, I'm telling you that. She's the representative for the Kalani family. Go ahead.
So
Bharti has it come?
Bharti is on her way, yes, soon.
Okay.
I am the youngest of 6. We came to America in 1975. I was 10 years old. Yeah, I have great memories of Kalamazoo, so I'm so happy I'm back in town. I have 4 sisters, 1 brother. Sheila has 2 daughters. They're both Shaki Sakhi is married and has 2 children, a girl and a boy, Jaya and Manu. Neeta has 2 daughters as well. And Pooja and Poonam. Pooja is in London with her husband. Poonam is in Denver. She's got 1 baby. Her name is Naima, and second one is on her boy is on his way in June. Yes, everybody's yeah. So third one is Sanjay. He's married and he's having a lake house, and we're gonna go enjoy the boat. So come on over, everybody. I'm inviting on his behalf.
Does he know we're coming?
The fourth one is Bharti. She's got 2 daughters as well, Atiya and Amreen. Atiya is married and lives in Traverse City. Bharti has moved there as well. Her husband is owner, I'm not sure the details, but they have an apple and cherry orchard. So it's really big business. It's nice. Amreen is doing really well. She's done fashion designing. She's in Detroit, well settled. Then Varsha, she's got 2 daughters, Shalini and Shivani. Shalini is in North Carolina, and Shivani is right now in Japan. They're both dentists. Yeah. And then my son, my son is home. He's 30 now. Can you believe it?
Oh my gosh.
Yep. And luckily, he lives 2 doors down from me and in town. So I'm so happy to be back with all my friends and family. So I'm so glad because of you, I got a chance to come out. So thank you. Appreciate it.
I'll make one comment. When they first came from India, they were sitting outside their house. And Kumud and I were just driving by.
They were locked out.
They were locked out.
Oh.
So I said, hey, these will be the Kalani girls. And they all fit in my car.
Oh.
All of them, like 6 of them.
Plus Sanjay, yeah.
Yeah.
All 5.
There was one incident that I remember about. Yes.
Since you're talking, I think I know the incident correct. When you left first time from India, the Air France tire caught fire.
Yeah.
Your mom had to throw all the jewelry. She was holding it, the guys had nothing to bring. And they came, right?
They lost everything.
All the saris that she was such a great collector.
And your brother is a pilot, right?
He is.
Yeah.
He's retired. He's enjoying life.
Yep.
Dad passed away in 91. Mama just went away in 2016. So it's been tough, but we still have their house. So if you want to take a look, Sanjay has it for sale. Yes.
Yeah, I told Bhaskar, I talked to Bhaskar about your house, and he says, yeah, I remember that house, yeah, we should go there.
We will,
That was his first
Yes.
reaction, we might do
Our
this.
parents were our kids' godparents.
Yes.
And many other kids here.
Yes,
Godparents.
this was like a family to us, we would go to the
Yeah.
house for everything.
It was
Just,
a wonderful time.
anytime we feel like, oh, we don't have anybody here, I want to talk to somebody elderly, we would just get our children in the car and just go to them.
And their daughters
It
and
was so
son
nice.
kept the tradition.
Yes.
So whenever you go to their house without announcement,
can't tell.
they're
Yeah.
always
Always
welcome.
welcome.
Still that tradition is going on.
Yes.
And for that matter, everybody in Kalamazoo is
Everybody.
like
Yes.
that.
And they took care of our children too.
Yes.
Anyway.
You bring pizza still?
Thank
for
you.
us? Whoever comes?
You know, we all,
APN pizza.
they stopped making Indian way,
Oh,
so we
yeah.
can't copy, and there's no way we could have copied Mama, but at least we tried.
Say hi.
Everyone does make pizzas,
Yeah.
a lot.
So nice you came in and your responses were so prompt and quick.
Thank you so much, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Don't call first half an hour and then you start counting the time. My name is Chayapati Nirle. I came here in August of 1975. My desire or passion is higher studies. In India, I had an MCom and a principal of a commerce college in Bangalore. But still, there is something that was wanting in me regarding higher studies, particularly to become a chartered accountant, what they call in India, here CPA. So I came here. However, in my situation, many of my friends would not have come here. But anyway, I came here, and then I got admission in a business college for MBA. But soon I found out admission is one thing, but staying here, by that time my wife and 2 children were in Mysore. So then it dawned on me that I needed money. And so in business college there are no assistantships or any financial help. So one there was, he has not come here, Aurora. He was instrumental in informing me that in the Industrial Engineering College there is a teacher assistantship. You go and talk to Dr. Proctor. So I went there and they did not ask me any question. Yes, we will give you your teaching assistantship. Starts in September. This was in April. Then I found out the next day my assignment is to teach calculus and trigonometry and whatnot for the industrial engineering students 400 level. I have from high school I have taken accounting. And so then I said, no, somebody is pulling my legs. And Bhave's house Q1 was the center for all of our Indian students to pick him up, pick on him for mathematics and whatever they are. And then I said, you guys are picking on me. I don't know how to spell calculus. How can I do this? Then he said, Bhave said, oh, don't worry, that is nothing to worry about it. This is April, September I have to teach. And then he had an office in mathematics department there. I used to be in downtown in one building, and then I used to come every night to math department where Bhave had an office. He started me with A plus B whole square. Because all my life I have studied accountancy, debit, credit, money. And then September came, I was ready to teach in the industrial engineering department, solving problem, calculus. And there are so many things happened in my life, etc. Basically now I have my wife in Detroit, my son in Detroit, my daughter in Philadelphia. They are all doing very well.
One thing I want to add, in those days, getting green card was not straightforward. Some XYZ, some Kalamazoo, I think R.C. Patel told us, there is a lawyer in Chicago, Friedman, okay? And me and Chayapati rented a car and drove there. And he said, what qualification he has? I said, I have master's and PhD in mathematics. MSc in mathematics enough, you will get the labor certificate. And he said, accountancy, he couldn't understand what is accountancy. So almost we kind of cheated. You know, he says accountancy, but he teaches mathematics in industrial engineering. And he said, that is enough. And that's how we both
My name is Vinod Dudekar, and I came here in August 1976. And I remember in the morning I didn't know anybody, so I called the president, And he came 6 o'clock in the morning, picked me up in the cold weather, took me there. And in the evening, then Pawan and other friend, they came and took me there. Next day, I meet my friend, Bhave's family. And this is where all the whole journey started. And I started my computer science in 1976, and I finished in April was August 78. Then I moved to Detroit, and I joined General Motors. And as far as from there, I moved to California, and I've been living in California since 1979. So we are all well settled, and my wife, she is in finance. She is still working. I retired from computer science, but I started my own real estate business, And I'm blessed with 2 sons, Vishal and Vikas, and their wife is Shelly and Ashley, and also have 2 grandkids, Devan and Gia. Gia just had her birthday yesterday. So, and we are just planning to be there, And since I retired, and I'm looking off, staying in touch with everybody. And thank you very much for Charu, that she's put everybody together, and hopefully this will grow, and we'll be staying in touch. I live in California, which is very close to Disneyland. So whenever you guys come, I will be glad, to meeting and giving you whatever I can, and looking forward, And if you forget me, you can talk to Charu. Okay. Anything else you want to know? Okay.
1978,
And then from there, after completing a PhD, I moved to Detroit area, and I was at Wayne State University and Michigan Cancer Foundation for the next 8 to 10 years. And then I moved back to Philadelphia, and I've been in Philadelphia since 1990. During my PhD, I was alone. In 1980, I went to India. I got married to Alka, and I do remember visiting Charu one time during my cancer research day in one of the meetings that was in San Jose, when we couldn't see them. I have 2 sons, Ravi and Neil, and I have 2 granddaughters, Gargi and Chanvi, and all of us live together in the same house.
My name is Vittal Bhave. I finished my PhD in mathematics in India, and that time I applied for another PhD in Kalamazoo. Okay, nobody knew the name Kalamazoo at that time, but I knew because of my subject graph theory. And then we just came, and how we started, Charu will tell. This is my wife, Charu. She comes from Belgaum. And this is my older son, Bhaskar, and his wife, Alka. Okay, and Alka's mother is here, Arthore. She has just come to see this gathering. And okay, this is Meghna, Bhaskar's daughter, and that is Neha. Okay, yeah. Almost all of them are taller than their parents. And Akash, the eldest. I just missed it. Okay, this is my second son, Prakash. Okay, he lives in North Carolina. Okay, and these guys are Delhi, I mean Washington DC. I call it Delhi. And his wife, Neeta, then daughter, my granddaughter, Janani, and then there is, okay, I call him Sajjan Rao, but his name is Sajjan, and this is my youngest among these things, okay.
And the favorite?
She's quizzing you, Suman. His name is Suman, the Minister of Ram. That's how I remember. And when she said name, I have to recall. Minister of Ram. Okay, that's right.
So that is the introduction. We were here from 1974 to 78. So the next item is going to be the glimpses of our stay in Kalamazoo from 1974 to 1978. So I think we will be talking more with friends. So this is our introduction.
Yeah. That's very good.
Good. A glimpse of how many friends have touched our lives in Kalamazoo. We are going to present it as a dialogue, as you can see, and we are all participating. Place, Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Time frame, 4 years, August 1974 through September 1978.
We had never heard of this place, neither of Kalamazoo nor of Michigan.
After finishing my PhD work in graph theory from Karnataka University, Dharwad in India, I got a letter from Western Michigan University, Kalamazoo, offering me a teaching assistantship. So I came as a student, a PhD student in the PhD program of WMU.
WMU, well known to you, to me and you now. WMU, well known to me and you now. WMU, okay.
On August 25, we landed in New York in 1974. Flew to a family friend by name Aiza in Indianapolis.
On 27th, our friend Mr. Aiza dropped us in Kalamazoo.
Married housing, apartment building Q and apartment Q1.
The apartment was well furnished with a sofa and chairs in the hall.
A cooking range, refrigerator and a dining table in the kitchen.
A bed and dresser in the bedroom.
And a bathroom with toilet, wash basin
and tub with 24-hour hot and cold water supply.
There was a common laundry room with 2 washers and dryers too.
Boy, that was a luxurious home for us.
We had all the material luxuries, but there were no relatives, no friends. We knew nobody in the town and nobody knew us either. Oh, we forgot to mention that there was also a phone in our apartment.
Yes, a dial-up phone.
What?
What? A dial-up phone with a cable attached to a wall?
Yeah, kiddo, there was no mobile phone then.
That means oh wait, it's off. That means no smartphone, no Google Photos, no selfies.
Yes, that's right.
Okay, back to our story. The school was yet to start, so no soul was on the street either.
Yeah, we both were thinking, where have we come and for what?
Hardly 20 minutes passed because our friend left. Okay, he dropped us and he left. We heard a knock on the door. I opened the door.
That was Dr.
Dr.
Kapoor. That was Dr. Kapoor. I am Dr. Kapoor from Math Department.
Please come in.
Oh, let's go get some groceries and house supplies for you. I have come to take you to the store.
Dr. Kapoor took us to Myers Thrifty Acres.
Boy, for the first time in my life, I was seeing such a big store.
We bought a bag of rice, potatoes, sugar, and a gallon of milk.
We also bought 3 utensils, 4 plates, 4 spoons, and 4 mugs. Our kitchen started next day.
I went to math department next day. It was on the 2nd floor of Everett Tower. It was a posh building. The campus was still very quiet. It was. It was kind of.
I can take mic पाहिजे ना because
There's 3 mics total.
Okay. So next day, I will do.
Okay. I went to math department next day. It was on the 2nd floor of Everett Tower. It was a posh building. The campus was still very quiet.
It was end of August. Weather started getting colder and colder, and here our apartment started getting warmer and warmer.
Do you know how?
Yes, you are right, because our neighbors and friends started coming to us.
And also I made friends in my classes.
One of them was Brish Bhai.
First day of school, it was Professor Lea's class. He was taking the attendance and he was trying to read my name. Indian name, right? And he kept on saying, Bear, Bear, Bear. Then Brish Bhai says, Are bhai,
अबे उठ, वो तेरा ही नाम ले रहा है.
Then one day we went to Brish Bhai's home. We met Dipti Bhabi. Many a times during daytime I used to walk to their house. Dipti Bhabi was fond of watching the TV show Price is Right. She is the one who taught me how to make Rice Krispie cereal mixed chura. It has been a very popular dish in our family and friend circle.
I have at least 2 containers filled with that chura. Prakash is very fond of it. Thank you, Dipti auntie.
You are most welcome. As you know, Brish Bhai and Dipti Bhabi, they left for UK yesterday. So
we filled in.
Yeah, substitute.
One more friend that became our family member for a long time. His name was Clarence Boucher. He was a teaching assistant in math department. he was working on his master's degree in math department. After he retired he was drafted in army at that time. He was like a brother to me.
Unfortunately, he is no more. He passed away about 20 years ago.
After he passed away, we received a long letter from his mother in which she wrote how much Clancy used to talk to her about our family.
She also wrote, Clancy hardly traveled anywhere, but he went all the way to California just to see you folks. It meant a lot to him.
Yes, he was very special. Okay, I gotta hold closer. Prakash and I used to call him Clancy Uncle, and when he visited us in California, he took the two of us to Disneyland.
While leaving for Disneyland with the boys, he told me, Charu, don't worry about the boys. I will watch them like a hawk.
When we were little, he used to amuse us by making a peculiar sound.
I don't know how to make it.
Make it?
No. Like that. Yep. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you make it? Oscar? Can you make that sound?
Not anymore. He used to be able to.
Yeah, he used to make it like this. Yeah, that was the sound he used to make.
To entertain them.
You mean like this?
Yes.
Yes, okay, good. So Kalamazoo was a home, away from home for most of us. Most of us had left India for the first time and landed in Kalamazoo. That common factor bonded us really well.
Not only for friends, but from India, but also for friends from Pakistan, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Malaysia, Japan, Taiwan. It was a home away from home. We had a great international friend circle.
Bhaskar was born in about 7 months after we landed in Kalamazoo. He was born in the April of 1975 in Borges Hospital. Dr. Gaud was the Indian doctor in Borges then. Ushatai Vaidya had done a baby shower for me at her house. Jagat Vaidya, Ushatai Vaidya, they live now in Indianapolis. I tried to reach them, talk to them, just kind of reached, chatted, but they lost the touch again.
Our friends knew that Charu or I would be always at home to take care of Bhaskar. Waldo Library was very close to our apartment, so friends used to drop in at any time, either to get math help from me or to help with to play with Bhaskar or just feel home. Many times they would just sit at our house and do their homework.
We lived in Kalamazoo for 4 years. First 3 years, we didn't even have a car.
No car for 3 years? Why?
Because we didn't have that much money. We couldn't afford it.
But then we had all these friends who take us for grocery shopping with them. Baby Bhaskar would get cranky in the evening before falling asleep. We would take Bhaskar for a short ride in some friend's car to make him sleep. Oh, lot of such memories. So many have helped us in Kalamazoo. In so many ways.
Now, let's talk about our special friends whom we met almost 50 years ago. Some are here today and some are not, but the memories are afresh.
First of all, Arkesh Pandit. Arkesh used to live in a big antique house away from campus. We used to call it Bhoot Bangla, a haunted house. How old it was then?
Almost 100 years.
And Arkesh used to walk everywhere. He didn't feel the need of the car either. He was a very good cook and loved to feed us. His special dish was akki roti. When I enjoyed the most was the fun. What I enjoyed the most
was a fun argument between Arkesh and Charu. You will enjoy it too. See now.
Hello, Arkesh.
Hey Charu, how are you?
Oh, just surviving, you know.
Oh, don't give me that.
I have to share one special memory about Arkesh. I was pregnant with Bhaskar. One day, Arkesh very caringly said to me, Charu, you are away from your parents and relatives. Tell me, whatever dish you feel like eating, I'll make it for you. Arkesh, do you remember what I asked for?
No.
Kharvas.
What is that?
Kharvas, that's what I asked for. Oh, what is it? A dish made from cow's milk. Ginna, Kannadalli, a dish made from cow's milk soon after a calf is born. That is, so from that special milk, that special sweet dish.
Ginnu.
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 Okay. So, how can he get that kind of milk in Kalamazoo? So, he got angry at me and shouted at me.
Charu, you're just impossible.
Yes.
Now you know how I enjoyed the arguments of these two.
Soon after, we came and settled in Q1. Brajesh Shah came in Q4. We were in Q1, he came in Q4. Then, in a few weeks, his wife Dina came from India. Dina and I became close friends. We had a phone. That time we had a phone in our apartment, but Rajesh Bhai didn't. We decided to share our phone with them. So, we had connected a long string through our Q1 kitchen window to the Q4 kitchen window with a bell tied to Q4 string end. You get it? We were in Q1, they were in Q4. So we had the string connected from one kitchen window to the other. And at the end, in Brajesh Bhai's house, apartment, we would have a ring. There was a ring. Bell. Okay. So, because it was cold outside, so nobody wanted to come running, go call them running in the cold. We wanted to avoid all that. So here we go. So we had that string and the arrangement was made. So now, what was the arrangement? We would, okay. So now, if someone calls for dinner, we would ring the bell twice. If it was for Brajesh Bhai, then we would ring it thrice, 3 times. So accordingly, one or the other would come to answer the phone. Boy, it was fun. Brajesh Bhai now lives in Hyderabad. Their son Ketan and Manisha are also there. Unfortunately, Dina is no more. She passed away a few years ago.
Chayapati came next in Q-building. He was in Q5. Veda, Sanjeeva and Chetna joined him soon after. Bhaskar had new playmates, Sanjeev and Chetna.
After Chayapati came, the new activity was Satyanarayan Puja. Yes. No, Mike, please come.
There's a third mic.
Oh, you can come stand up.
I didn't know to share.
Yes, I remember it very well. We used to live off campus. Every now and then we would come for Satyanarayan Puja. And for a change, I'll like to add one more thing. That was the first puja, and I was wondering that any activity like this could happen, because my mom used to do it once a year. So that, like, you know, when they did puja, it stuck to me. And she gave me a prasad in a plastic cup. That cup, I believe, still is with me, because when we moved from Laurel Street to Nottingham and Nottingham to our house, it was still there. But I think 4 years ago we renovated the kitchen, so I don't know, I have to check. But that, I kept it with my plastic cup, disposable cup, and still in the bottom it's always there. So the other thing I remember on the same puja, I think, they were, I mean, you mentioned that you have Japanese friend and they were there in those apartments. So like after the food was done, all the ladies were waiting for the gents folk to come, but they will not come, they'll just chit chat. And she was saying, I hate this thing about Indian people, or Indian males. Ladies poor thing, they make food for them and they never do come. The other thing, Charu used to call Bhave Aho. Just and she got so did you remember that? So that Japanese
I will continue. Because she may not know. The Japanese neighbor,
I know
Japanese
that.
guy, she knows that.
I know
And he came and he started laughing.
That's what I want to tell. So they were wondering why Charu is calling him Aho all the time. In Japanese, Aho is Murak.
So I want to add a sentence. That's why we say Japanese are the smartest people in the world.
Why only Japanese people? And Indian women.
And Bhava's name I remember differently actually. Bhava, I don't know how you pronounce it, but you used to crack a joke like they're calling behave and I said I'm behaving. So be and have. Like, so he used to read as behave. That's how I remember. I don't know whether you remember that or not. But you say that I remember that distinctly. That you used to say behave and you said I'm behaving.
There are so many memories of that time which we cannot forget, which it rings in our ears all the time when we think about Kalamazoo, our friends and things like that. With Bhave for me, the unique relationship I had with him, and then the unique service he did for me is unique really. And so he helped me to attend a course in computer through his friends. At that time there was a language called Basic Computer. And then we used to gather in Bhave's house in groups.
Okay, although I had a master's degree in mathematics from India, I thought computer program will be an easy job. But when I attended the classes, then it was going over my head. So I was talking to best friend of mine, Bhave, and he said, okay, he dictated me the coding of homework, how to talk to computers. And we sat down, he made a note, and we wrote some computer programs, typed it in the computer, compiled it, and run it, and hey, it is a bingo.
Hey, kudos for Bhave.
Then, at the end of 1975, Ghanishambai came to Q building. He lived upstairs in Q7.
Q8.
Oh, Q8? Q7. अरे आपने Q7 बोला था. Okay, Q7, Q8, yeah, Q8. Nirmala joined him a month later. By then, I had joined master's program in math department and had a part-time teaching assistantship in physics department. Bhaskar was 8 months old. Every evening, making Bhaskar asleep was a big task. How much I wished Bhaskar would fall asleep little bit earlier and I would get to do my homework.
After dinner, Charu and Nirmala Bhabi would be in the bedroom trying to make Bhaskar sleep. They would pretend they are sleeping, hoping Bhaskar would fall asleep. But many times, Bhaskar will slide down the bed and come out crawling to me, and these two ladies were snoring.
Yes. Now I have to tell you how I got a teaching assistantship in physics department. As we mentioned, many friends used to come to our house. Professor Arora, Vijay Arora, was one of them. Usually, I would be busy with Bhaskar, my studies, or some kitchen work. I was very quiet then, hardly talked to anyone. One day, Professor Arora asked me, Bhabi, what have you studied in India? Well, I told him, I have done my bachelor's in physics. So immediately, Professor Arora said, अरे तो जाके हमारे दाढ़ी वाले से बात करो. He is looking for teaching assistants in physics department. So that was the turning point in my life. Very next day, I went to physics department to see the chairman, Dr. Oplikar. And he offered me, yeah, he had dadi wala. That was Dr. Oplikar, he was the chairman. And he offered me a part-time teaching assistant's job in physics department. I taught for 1 semester, got a good review from students, and then they offered me a full-time position. To take that position, the funny thing was, I had to be a full-time student in physics department. So I said, that's all right. I changed my admission from mathematics master's program to physics master's program. We always used to say, अरे बाजार में चना बेचता है तो चना बेचो. Yes. So now I was a full-time student in physics department. I had to go to India to change my visa from F2 to F1, from dependent to student. That was a different time. I was going to travel alone with 1-year-old Bhaskar. My flight was from Chicago. We had to drive from Kalamazoo to Chicago. And Pavan Bhai, do you remember that drive?
Yes, I do remember. I do remember that, and actually, if time will permit, maybe later, I'll tell you 1 or 2 more incidents about Muhammad. He's a very interesting guy. So we borrowed the car from him. It was a huge car. He was from Saudi Arabia. Money was not a problem for him. So we all went in and we drove that car. And at that time, there were no, like highway stops right now, especially from Kalamazoo, except when you go near the city. So we used all farmland, so you can stop your car anywhere and just get down and, have a picnic. So that's what we thought. And by the time we left, in the beginning, it was a little bit exciting. That we were excited about, dropping Charu Bhavi to the airport. But after some time, we just forgot. We got into this. We stopped, and then we got out of the car, and then we were playing around. We forgot. And Charu Bhavi then reminded, hey, wait a minute, my flight is this time. I don't want to miss my flight.
That's right. That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I remember is there were tall trees, and on the branch of the tree, they had put the swings. So even we played swings.
Yeah.
We were swinging like monkeys, and we had so much fun. Really, it was a wonderful picnic. Right. Yes. So then, yes, the life was so simple then, and the company of friends made it so enjoyable.
Later in physics department, Charu met Nagesh Challa. Dr. Kamesh Rao was her thesis advisor for master's degree. Yes. Family of Dr. Rao and Nagesh are in California, in the same area where we lived next 30 years after leaving Michigan. Dr. Kamesh Rao passed away just few months ago.
He was also so excited when I told him about the Kalamazoo gathering. He said, put me on the WhatsApp group, Yeah. He would have really enjoyed it, yes. Okay, now let us talk about our jobs that we did to earn some extra money. Ghanshyam Bhai and Nirmala and we too have done so many odd jobs in semester breaks. 1 second. Ghanshyam, can you?
Yeah, well, when it comes to job, finding job was because I had the car. And I knew about car, how to operate because I was an automotive background. So wherever you see the sign, find the job, So I was going there and I looked at apartment cleaning. So I talked to Bhave. Okay, apartment cleaning, give our name. So I put everybody's name. So it became our own group. So that guy will talk about. So we went to the clinic. We did not know. We thought that in India I didn't know what group means. So we knew group 1, group 2, group 3, and we were 5. So our group was group 5. So he calls group 5. And I am the stupid guy. I don't know who is he calling. Then he's calling. You are the last one. Okay, all right. They gave us the work for cleaning, cleaning the apartment. Cleaning the apartment, I did, and my job was, to be true with you, they will do the first front cleaning, Nirmala will do the kitchen sink, kitchen cleaning, stove, and my job was bathroom cleaning. And I still do the bathroom cleaning every day. Every time, Yeah, but to be true with you, at the end of the game, that guy, leader, he said, the best cleaning I am finding is group 5. Because all of them were students, were Americans. They didn't want to work, we wanted to earn money, So after doing the cleaning, then what to do next? I am being a son of a landlord. Farming was in my blood. I had my car running, so I went on a stadium drive and started looking, and I found some farms. So okay, now in the farm we can do finding something. So in India, on my cotton farm, I used to do the cotton picking with my laborers, so people, So what I did, okay, here you go, we found a job. So Charu got excited, okay, so we four went to cherry picking.
Yes. Cherry picking.
Nirmala can tell about cherry picking a lot.
Yeah, we went in cherry picking, but there is a ladder because it was tree and it was ladder. Sam was going on the ladder. I said, make sure that branch won't broke, otherwise you will fall. And it happened.
So that's it.
It was fun to cherry picking, and we money is different story, but we were enjoying the work picking. Picking is less, but eating more.
So after cherry season is over, find another job. So by that time, I found a job on a campus, and repairing the car, and oil change and tune up and work in the garage, and then next door was a garage cleaning. In fact, I remember a couple of times I washed Anil Bhai's white car, in my car wash.
One quick one.
Oh, sure.
He went on a one-way street. And his car stopped, I believe. And a cop came and then he went right. That's something like that happened.
Yeah.
That's one story. Other story, he had two cars. One car would go forward and one car would go back. He had two cars.
The car wasn't giving reverse.
Yeah.
And he went in one way. The police has to come and stop him.
So car says that go reverse. I cannot go reverse. Why? Car does good. Car does not have reverse. Then the car says, okay, you steer it, and then he called other car. Those two cops are pushing our car, putting backward and say, now don't go this way, okay, all right. So here I come, within 2 minutes, because it was right behind our apartment, so I came and I told Bhavi. Bhavi says, ठाकुर का रथ है, आगे ही जाता है, पीछे नहीं.
So nice. Very good. So then also we had some cafeteria jobs, no? So just
We are
not to
cafeteria.
forget, yes. So you see, everything was fun for all of us. We had very little money, but we were a happy bunch. आपको वो गाना याद होगा ना? मान अपनी जेब से फकीर है, फिर भी यारो दिल के हम अमीर है, मिटे जो प्यार के लिए वो जिंदगी, जले बहार के लिए वो जिंदगी बहुत नीचे हुआ किसी को हो न हो हमें तो एतबार
जीना इसी का नाम है.
Okay, so that was our class.
August of 1977, Prakash was born in Borges Hospital.
Kalamazoo is a very, very special place for us. Both Bhaskar and Prakash were born here when we were in Q1 apartment.
By then, I had finished my master's degree in biostatistics. I was looking for a job in a pharmaceutical company, but was not getting any because I had no green card.
Meanwhile, many of our student friends had finished their degrees in computer science and gotten jobs. One day,
we got our computer degree and job by taking our help in programming and what I still doing here in school.
in your words like,
Yeah.
"Arey pape."
You also, अरे पापे तो जिंदगी भर स्टूडेंट ही रहेगा. You also get a degree in computer science.
I straight walked to admissions office and got admitted in computer science program. Came home and added one line to my resume, and that line was computer science MS expected in 1978.
December 1978. Yes, it was only June 1978, but that one line change made a big difference. He sent his resume to 5-6 companies and started getting calls for interview right away. Otherwise, he was sending the applications. At least 200 companies he might have sent to pharmaceutical companies, but he was not getting any job. Yeah.
There was so much demand for computer programmers then. Here,
one incident we have to share.
yes, I had to go for an interview in Ford Motor Company in Detroit. I was all excited about the interview, but just the day before the interview, I got a terrible backache, and I felt I won't be able to drive to Detroit. So I asked my friend Nagesh Chella so that he can accompany me when I go there.
Next morning, these two drove to Detroit for the interview. Here at home, I got a telegram from India saying my father-in-law had passed away. I spent the whole morning crying. Many of our friends came to know about the sad news. They came to console me. Then, by 2 p.m., I got a call.
My interview went well, and they offered me a job also. We will be home soon.
That was a great news. Very first job in USA. Oh, my dear husband, he was overjoyed. I hung up the phone. Now I was in a fix. How to break the sad news to him and how he will take it. Extreme sad news at extreme joyous moment. In next hour, he was home with Nagesh. I really didn't know what to do. I called Nagesh aside and I told him this is the news from India now. And also told him what is my fear. So Nagesh said, "Charu Bhabi, I think we should disclose the news to him." So we did. Bhave was very sad and upset that he couldn't go to India in the past 4 years since he came to US. He also believed that his mother won't live any longer after his father's death. He won't get to see her either. At this moment, Vijay Bhai and Ramesh Bhai walked in.
We'll take care of your tickets. You can go to India with your family. You can leave tomorrow for India if you like.
That was a great relief. I didn't know what to say.
I have a different thought. It will be good idea to charge your ticket on your credit card, and that's way your credit will go up and we will help you to pay the installment to the credit card company.
That was a great idea. No need to say it. Just in next 3 days, we cleaned up our apartment Q1 and left a few boxes in the apartment storage room and flew to India. Life was really so simple then.
At this point, in July 1970, our Kalamazoo stay was over. When we returned from India, we started our life in Ann Arbor, a married student housing of University of Michigan.
Now, this is a brief narration of how so many friends have touched our lives in so many ways in just 4 years. We are grateful to God, the Almighty, for sending loving and caring friends in our lives. Thank you all. Thank you very much.
अचानन्नं चतुर्विधम् अन्नपूर्णे सदा पूर्णे शङ्करप्राणवल्लभे ज्ञानवैराग्यसिद्ध्यर्थं भिक्षादेहि च पार्वती.
गणपतये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बाप्पा मोरया. ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बाप्पा मोरया. ॐ गं गणपतये नमो नमः, सिद्धिविनायक नमो नमः, अष्टविनायक नमो नमः, गणपति बाप्पा मोरया.
So I only know the first verse, but I know you all know the rest of them. So if you want, while I sing the first one, you could look it up, get the lyrics on your phones, and sing along. Yeah.
थोड़ा सांसा है ऐड किए हैं ओके देखेंगे मैं जो है वो गा वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो चुपके से मिलना वो हंसना हंसाना वो दिन याद करो उस पर है वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो कैफेटेरिया जाना वो प्लेटें उठाना वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो कैफेटेरिया जाके वेटर बन जाते घंटे के $2 कमाते वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो चेरी पिकिंग जाना वो सीढ़ियाँ लगाना वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो सीढ़ियों पे चढ़ के चेरी बटोर दे एक पाउंड के $2 कमा दे वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो सेमेस्टर की छुट्टी वो अपार्टमेंट क्लीनिंग वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो जब बाथरूम घिसते किचन साफ करते घंटे के $2 कमाते वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो वो दिन याद करो अब तो ये जीवन है यादों का मेला अब तो ये जीवन है यादों का मेला ये दिन याद रखो ये दिन याद रखो ये दिन याद रखो
बहुत अच्छा माय गॉड
बनके सबा बागे वफा